The Discourse of Hermes Trismegistus on the mind shared in common, to Tat. Mind, O Tat, comes from the very essence of God. If, in fact, God has any essence, and God alone knows exactly what that essence might be. Mind, then, has not been cut off from God's essentiality. It has expanded, as it were, like the light of the sun. In humans, this mind is God. Among humans, therefore, some are gods, and their humanity is near to divinity. For the good demon has said that gods are immortal, and humans are mortal gods. In animals without reason, however, there is natural impulse. Where soul is, there is also mind, just as there is soul wherever life is. But the soul in unreasoning animals is life devoid of mind. Mind is a benefactor of human souls. It works on them for good. In things without reason, mind assists the natural impulse arising from each, but it opposes this impulse in human souls. Every soul, as soon as that is come to be in the body, is depraved by pain and pleasure. For in a composite body, pain and pleasure seethe like juices. Once immersed in them, the soul drowns. Mind displays its own splendor to those souls that it commands, and it opposes their predilections. As a good physician, using the cautery and the knife, causes pain to the body overtaken by disease, in the same way, mind causes pain to the soul, withdrawing it from the pleasure that gives rise to every disease of the soul. A great disease of the soul is godlessness, and next is mere opinion. From them follow all evils, and nothing good. Therefore, the mind that opposes this disease secures good for the soul, just as the physician secures health for the body. But those human souls that do not have mind as a guide are affected in the same way as souls of animals without reason. When mind connives with them and gives way to longings, the rush of appetite drives such souls to the longings that lead to unreason, and like animals without reason, they never cease their rational anger and irrational longing, and they have never had enough of evil. For angers and longings are irrational vices that exceed all limits. God has imposed the law upon these souls as a torment and a reproof. In that case, Father, the discourse about fate that I heard finished earlier would seem to be contradicted. If it is absolutely fated for some individual to commit adultery or sacrilege or to do some other evil, how is such a person still to be punished when he has acted under compulsion of fate? Everything is an act of fate, my child, and outside of it, nothing exists among bodily entities. Neither good nor evil comes to be by chance. Even one who has done something fine is fated to be affected by it, and this is why he does it, in order to be affected by what affects him, because he has done it. Now is not the time for a discourse about vice or fate. We have spoken on these topics elsewhere. Now our discourse is about mind, what mind can do, and how it admits of differences. In humans, mind is one thing, but it is another in unreasoning animals. Moreover, in other living things, mind is not beneficent. As it quells anger and longing, it acts differently in each individual. And one must understand that some of these are men who possess reason, and that others are without it. But all people are subject to fate, and also to birth and change, which are the beginning and end of fate. And what is fated affects all people. Yet those who possess reason, whom, as we have said, mind commands, are not affected as the others are. Since they have been freed from vice, they are not affected as a consequence of being evil. Again, Father, what do you mean? The adulterer is not evil? The murderer is not evil? And all the rest of them? One who has reason will not be affected because he has committed adultery, my child, but as if he had done so. Nor will he be affected because he has murdered, but as if he had murdered. It is not possible to escape the quality of change any more than of birth, though it is possible for one who has mind to escape vice. Thus, I have always heard the good demon say, it would have been most useful to humankind if he had given it out in writing. He alone, my child, because he looked down on everything as the firstborn God, has truly given voice to divine discourses. Once, at any rate, I heard him say that all things are one, especially the intellectual bodies, that we live in power and in energy and in eternity. Also that the mind of eternity is good, and that its soul is good as well. This being so, there is nothing dimensional among intellectual beings. And thus, since mind rules all and is the soul of God, mind can do as it wishes. You must understand then, and apply this discourse to the question that you asked me before, the one about fate, I mean. For if you carefully avoid contentious discourse, my child, you will find that the mind, the soul of God, truly prevails over all, over fate and law and all else. And nothing is impossible for mind, neither setting a human soul above fate, nor, if it happens that a soul is careless, setting it beneath fate. These were the finest things that the good demon said about such matters. Divinely said, my father, and truly and usefully. But make it even plainer to me. You have said that the mind acts in the manner of a natural impulse in animals without reason, conniving with their instincts. But the instincts of the unreasoning animals are passions, I believe. If mind assists the instincts, and instincts are passions, is mind also a passion, since it is in defiling contact with passions? Well said, child. An excellent question, and one I ought to answer. All embodied incorporeals are affected by the passions, my child, and passions they are rightly called. Every mover is incorporeal, but not everything moved is body. Incorporeals are also moved by mind. Movement is passion, however, and so both are affected. The mover and the moved, one ruling, the other ruled. If there is release from the body, there is also release from passion. Yet one might better say that nothing is free from passion, my child, and that everything is affected by it. But there is a difference between passion and what is affected by passion. One is active and the other is passive. Even bodies act of themselves, however. They are either unmoved or moved. And here is passion in either case. The incorporeals are also acted upon, which is why they are affected by passion. Do not let this terminology disturb you. Action and passion are identical, but it does not do any harm to use the more auspicious name. You have delivered the discourse very plainly, Father. Notice this also, my child, that to mankind, but not to any other mortal animal, God has granted these two things, mind and reasoned speech, which are worth as much as immortality. Mankind also has the speech that he utters. If one uses these gifts as he should, nothing will distinguish him from the immortals. Instead, when he has left the body, both these gifts will guide him to the troop of the gods and the blessed.